The competition on YouTube has never been bigger. 40 million people you're competing against at any given point. And what we're going to show here in just a moment are 3 examples of channels that have broken through in this space and different areas that you guys might be thinking about. And Perrin just pulled up the first example here, and this is a channel called Esports Talk. So many of you guys out there have watched and probably currently watch news channels in gaming. And a lot of them just cover the general headlines in gaming, the latest controversies, the big game launches, and generally they cover whatever was botched, generally speaking, with gaming. And that gets lots of views. They literally put blood spatter all over the thumbnail. Well, this channel, Esports Talk, went a level deeper, right, Perrin? So what's the strategy here? If the main niche, the big topic is covered, where do you go to break through?
A niche of covering something popular in news, and he just went with esports. And then he does, it's so simple. You're like, you wish you thought of it. And this is something that I would have imagined already existed, but he just doing it better because he's got better titles and better thumbnails. And he even got me clickbaited this morning on an article of him talking about Dr. Disrespect getting banned after charity work. I'm like, wait, what? And I clicked on this and I watched. You can see how much I watched of it, but it works. He knows what he's doing because he goes through the news and he just picks out the best headlines. It's really popular to react to what's going on to major players in the gaming space. So he combined that with news and esports, and he just has a nice trifecta that works really well, gets clicks, gets views, and he built an entire channel around it. Absolutely brilliant. And he didn't have to like reinvent the wheel. He just combined 3 elements that he knows works right now. And he applies effective YouTube strategies with just good thumbnails and titles. That's it. Actually, his thumbnails could be better, honestly, but
his thumbnails are really busy and they're kind of messy. They really are. But yeah, you're right. To your point, he broke into a niche within gaming news that no one else had been covering. So I want all of you guys to take note of this. What you're looking for on YouTube is you're looking to find a space where there's unlimited content potential, and news is one of those things. And so this particular channel does news around esports. There's another channel, if you want to search for it right now, actually, it's called Open World Games, just as another example, and they exclusively do news around open world games. But there is not a major player, a major channel that does news around every single niche within gaming. So if you guys are looking to cover news stories, here's Open World Games. As you can see, they're doing pretty well, 3 million views per month. They've got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And if you scroll down and look at their videos right here, just yet another example, click that videos tab. They just cover whatever the hottest open world game is of that time, cover the news. They're covering Cyberpunk 2077 today. Next week, it's going to be something else. And they found a way to just do news within a subtopic within the main topic of gaming. There are tons of these topics out there. You could be looking at anime games. You could be looking at mobile games. You could be looking at RPGs. You could be looking at shooters. You could be looking at every subtopic within the main gaming topic and make a news channel about that. And the riches are in the niches, as they say. And these channels really broke through because they covered a niche that was untapped. And so this is an opportunity for you guys to get inspiration. If you're looking to cover the latest headlines, if you're already reading them all day, let's say you're really in there on looter games and like you're just always looking at those. Well, why not use that research time you're doing looking at looter games and apply that toward maybe making a news channel specifically about looter games? Maybe you're covering Borderlands and you're covering Destiny and the upcoming Anthem relaunch and things like that. That is an opportunity for you guys to grow. It is inspiration for you to understand that you can go niche down within the news and updates space. You can create content around that and add your own commentary, and people will watch it. News content is not dead. Really quick, gaming creators, if you haven't already done it, enter to win our $1,100 Gaming Creator Bundle sweepstakes. There's a link in the description below if you want to check it out. But the exact sound that you hear right now, the setups we all use on our podcast, Rode is giving that away for free to you as a part of the sweepstakes. It includes this microphone, the shock mount, the boom arm, and let me just show you the package. It's freaking great. It also includes the Rodecaster Pro mixer, which makes you sound this good live. This is not even an edited video. This is the way you would sound live. Pretty great. Also, our friends at TubeBuddy threw in a TubeBuddy Legend license, help you manage that YouTube channel more effectively and grow faster on YouTube. Plus, Restream threw in a license as well, so you can stream to multiple platforms and grow even faster. We use all of this stuff every single day. Now you can get hooked up with this for free. Enter for your chance to win. Link in the description below. Entering costs $0. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So good luck, gaming creators. I'm glad we could hook you up with this package, and I hope you win. Go do it. So news channels is just one kind of thing, but Perrin, we have talked roughly 200 trillion times about hyping something pre-launch and then following it through to launch. And we've got an example here. I'd love you to go over this because you've done this strategy before yourself with many games.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're talking about the Neon Arcade here and how he, years in advance. I mean, let's go down. Let's go down. I want to see when he started. If we scroll down, he was probably covering Cyberpunk many years in advance, just grinding Cyberpunk content.
Look at that,
grinding all of that hype when there's nobody else. You have very little competition. Now there's more creators are keen. They're more savvy to this strategy now, but you're still putting out content that's high in demand when there isn't much, and there's lower supply and there's lower competition. It just makes sense. And I've executed this strategy before with games like Star Wars: The Old Republic back in the day, and it works insanely well. And what's really cool is you become an authority on the knowledge around this game. So whenever it does launch, you have a competitive advantage versus everybody else trying to stream, including the big players, because you're more knowledgeable than them on everything, because you've been covering every single speck of news, every little drag of information, and getting it out there to everybody. And they know you for that. You're well known for that in your space. So you become an authority around launch, so you can actually do content during launch and post-launch with a little bit of a competitive advantage because simply of your knowledge of doing it.
Yeah, man.
So with a talk show channel and with a channel where you're pre-hitting a big trend and you're farming it kind of like months or years in advance, it's good for live streaming too, because it gives you an advantage. It gives you that knowledge. It gives you the authority that people will come to you and get to know you for. And you can utilize that to make a name for yourself and set yourself apart from every other creator. It works time and time again. The biggest gamble and the biggest fallout is post-launch, the game completely fails, like Cyberpunk kind of, and there's just nothing. You've spent years, going after Cyberpunk, and now there seems to be nothing. And the thing is, at that point, you just have to keep grinding it, because there's still a niche of people that are there for that game, and where most of the general public or audience will go away from it, you still have people, you still have views that will be there when all is said and done. So you just have to keep sticking with it, even if something kind of fails. I imagine that with Neon Arcade, if he still covers Cyberpunk, he might lose views for the next month or so, but if he keeps it up, he'll be fine. He'll continue to get
he's going to be
views.
just fine. Absolutely, because Cyberpunk Online, the DLC, the news that's coming up, the mods, you name it. This is the classic strategy. You hit it right there. So all of you guys see games coming out 2-3 years in the future that you're hyped about, building a channel around that, doing community podcasts, covering what we would like this game to be and all of that hype content. Those are opportunities for you to grow before a game launches, before all the big boys start covering that game when it launches. You're building your own audience before the competition increases. Then once the competition goes away, after the game launches, you have the opportunity to continue to soak up those eyeballs that are coming in for that game. It is the classic vanilla ice cream flavored YouTube growth strategy, and the Neon Arcade has done it once again. And there will be YouTubers that do this in the future. And why do they succeed? Because the early bird gets the worm, and also the person that puts in the more work often gets the worm.